history. Like this Bible. Like the person will give you this Bible, after that person get off. In reality, in a parking lot, near that 37 East Bar home. So when you put reality, this Bible come from some African girl. She doesn't have the same face looking as my love song one. Cause my love song one is much better looking than that girl. So the implication coming back, mind you, people are facial disorder. That's like my face. I don't like my face because I'm an artist. I paint pictures in that sense. But when you do artwork, you're telling the real truth. If a person is ugly, then the person is ugly. If a person is fat, then a person is fat. Just like if my shirt needs to be fixed, like I'm talking on the video right now, with the color. Is that real? Or some people say, I don't like your gesture when you move your hands. And so you have to make your hands more proper in that sense. Or if you do any gesture that looking like some gang affiliated, people will be like, you have to explain yourself as a 420, with positivity coming back from Adolf, with the whole German. That's what I like. That's where I get the whole idea from. So when somebody sit there, as I'm saying, I study people with mental disorder in somewhat way. Come from whatever environment they live in. If a person coming from a different country, and then they reach into a country that they seen on TV, you giving them the implication of excitement with the city lights and shit going on. I have city lights in every city, in every world. So it couldn't be the one place. So then people's brain are like amusement park. It's always exciting to see the bright lights. So they love driving. Those are the people who like to drive. But when you check the time of driving, you're actually burning time and gas. Because you only need back the funds put back in the vehicle, and the person driving feel like they're a celebrity or a famous person when they're not. So the imagination implication going on, because your imagination is imagination a car that doesn't exist. So when you tell that person that car doesn't exist, they say you envy them. But mind you, in the future you have cars that will fly. So that's where you put in the word hope. So when a person driving a vehicle that will be coming out in a different model in the next 20 years, you have to hope you live to see that next 20 years. So why would somebody envy you in the history of time you live in right now? Because car coming like how you do artwork. Or car coming like shoes. Have you ever heard a brand coming from Russia, the Lada, or the BMW, which is Mini? So you usually have Mini, and Mini by BMW. BMW company transform Mini into what you see Mini is, with Mr. Bean looking car. So everyone knows about vehicle, I understand the concept. And some people who love vehicle and don't understand the marketing. Like my closest enemy. The guy love vehicle so much, he wants to work even the place that makes vehicle. And if he doesn't get the job, he's wondering and wondering why. So the guy also sit there and drink the alcohol, as I'm telling you. And then he's going to say, you don't have a proper job. You're not aiming for higher heights. But when you check the level, mind you, the action that comes from that person is of no good. If you understand what I mean. Because you cannot screw out your light bulb and actually make someone fill out the application when the person already been in the newspaper. Because everyone shows you each work as a category. And everyone cannot be the same thing in life. So whosoever you follow, you end up like. So if I follow Caravaggio, which you have another Michael, this is also Michael. And then you get a book, just like with this one. So this painting, people ask for this painting, like in master copy, if you understand what I mean. But you have to understand, they don't understand artwork. So a guy might see you on the bus. Can I buy this painting for $300? Like, why would I sell you the painting for $300? Because the guy's on drugs as a bus driver or some shit, which I don't really care. If you understand what I mean. And there's another people might ring you. Can I get this painting for whatever? But we show you the reality. People already asking you for this painting and you refuse because it's master copy. But a dumb D-word who doesn't understand artwork will be like, this guy not selling his artwork because the guy is from the country area. The same fellow who has my painting inside his house. So they bring back realism on the guy. So when the guy send message as though he say you're not making any money, you have to give guy realism. So this is not speakable about people. I'm just explaining my artwork with my book, my item. So if this book was damaged, I couldn't give it to a customer. If you understand what I mean, I have to return it back to Fine Art America and get my money back, as in that real. That's the policy. So working with paperwork, I have a legit business under a platform that has a legit business with trademark and pay taxes through IRS, not in Canada, through IRS. So I don't understand when people imply, like that lady who works with the peoples, she's telling me I should do 12 months coming back from the red book, but she's taking off one. So paperwork to paperwork. As well, the guy have him in August to August. So as the guy have the message, uh, so you have phone message of the person that say you owe no money. He doesn't owe you no money. You're not getting back any artwork. So the message that he brings was in August of last year, 2009. And the message that he get is in August of this time period with payment and the artwork. So his message is downward. Remember, phone numbers and message link, just like evidence. It's all in this phone. So what implication is in his mind? Media. Coming back from the progress song, as I put it. So with this lady here, with the PO and shit, I understand why she skipped the August also. Because she thinking I cannot count. But where's the Sesame Street? As I'm telling you, that's a monster. Right in your face. So we give back the implication of a monster. And I'm not that monster. That type. So the lady will sit there. Mind you, 12 months of the year. And she say you cannot count. Because she take off one date, which is August. So the question is why? Which I don't really care for, but that's your implication. Because I'm following directly what the paper says, 12 months, and that lady coming back with 11 months. 11 mean power. And for you to be on a radio like this, and talking with fake power in your brain, that doesn't even make sense, because I'm saying you can't even go to Radio Shack and buy a radio that tweets up and listen to the little baby that cries, and you make it into a transforming radio and listen to what they say over the telephone. And you understand shit just like that. So this might look like a CD. So you don't play with games. Like the number 3. As in 3 outside. So you can name 3 as in 1, 2, and then a 3. So you can do it easy. 1, this is a 1. And this is 2 fingers, 3 fingers, and then you have 4, and then you have 5. Just like with the high five in the love song, the little high five thing going on there, and the 4 fingers. So the lady implying that I cannot count, or you're implying I cannot read. So you have to understand she's a mental, because you're coming back from a person who calls his name. That put you in that problem. He claims he's an artist, but he follows some DVD or some CD coming back from the media with the facial hair looking type. If you understand what I mean, and you sit there and listen to the same music. If you understand what I mean. So he's also a AIDS guy. He's also a biodiesel. And if you watch the media, in real media, how they angle them ones, like how they treat them ones, he cannot go back home. And that's not me putting implying words. That's just what people do in their nation, what they feel like, what they choose to do. So if people choose to follow my artwork, I don't see your implication coming back from the 905 number that also implies scamming. So the person will sit there and be like thinking, I don't know what you're talking about. But if I ring the number, it's the same number they're going to answer. Back from the Darius. So the Darius imply is like a can of sardine. And I don't like in that sense. I eat sardines, but not that type of sardine in that sense. So when they go around as biodiesel, the brain is not right, or whatever thing you do. But to get a year, like rabbits, you're going to need 12 months. 5 and then a 2. Not 5 and then 1. That's 11. And then you come back with 11, 11. With the November newspaper and thing. So that person still doesn't have a newspaper yet. So you have to go back in high school I tell you, the guy has to understand the whole implication of where the whole thing started from. The guy claims he's a musician, but he has green thing all over his mustache, and he's speaking in tongues. But yet still he doesn't understand how to knock on a door. You have to knock on a door before you enter the door, because somebody can be inside using a private room. You don't just push a door like that. You knock first. So you understand the person has no qualification of like autopsy. And there's an Adolf in Africa. So if you speak of Adolf in front of the fella, you can Google shit on your phone and 100,000 people can do it also. Or 500,000 or whatever number that follows my artwork can Google it and say, oh shit, that dude is mental. Because there's an Adolf in Africa, the same name, living in the same time period right now. So when you say Adolf is evil or good, so you have to understand the world. And the guy is in politics to make it even worse. So when you do implication like real maths, like buying the house, when you calculate buying the house, I don't think you'll pay off the house with the whole payment coming off from not having the help or your husband not going to the right direction and this not working out. I have to pay back the college payment. I have to pay back the money that you borrow on the mortgage. So you accumulate all that financial thing and you cave in like a deck of cards. Because for you to get the house, you have to go borrow the money. Just as I go to the bank and you ask the bank to borrow some money and the bank tell you need a bracket line. Like what's your margin? And you have to pay back with interest in a certain time. So when you borrow money, you have to understand the formation. Those people brain are not there. Because you need the money to go brag on your enemy with the house and the vehicle. But when you check the real financiality, you can save. So being read, as I'm saying, the person who give me this Bible, I've seen that girl act weird. If you understand what I mean. Weird, as in I don't know if she's getting off. So being that real sense, you can get clothes every day. So I don't see white clothes fit into a person of, as you say, is not there. This is white t-shirt. And then we can take videos and show you of a person that's really not there and how he behaves in a white t-shirt. If he's going to change it when 3 months pass. You can go to Jamaica and take videos of different people and different. Every country is the same shit. You have crooked cops, you have thief, you have people who lie, and you have people who sit there and try to mimic TV and act it out. And you have people who try to be the wannabes in life, if you understand what I mean. And then you have real people